The internet is on fire again, and this time, it's all about Tory Lanez. Just when fans thought the chaos had finally settled, shocking new developments have flipped everything upside down. Whispers are spreading faster than wildfire. Secret phone calls, leaked messages, and unexpected alliances are painting a picture no one saw coming. They said Tory's story was over, but now, it feels like the real drama is just beginning. From hidden betrayals to emotional confessions, this latest twist has everyone asking the same question: who's really telling the truth? Friends have turned into foes, industry insiders are spilling private tea, and even Tory's own family is reportedly torn apart behind closed doors. In the middle of it all, Tory himself has broken his silence, but his words only raised more questions. Was it a calculated move? Or a desperate cry for redemption? Emotions are running high, fans are divided, and social media can't stop dissecting every frame, every lyric, every look. What really happened behind the scenes? Who's standing by him and who's plotting against him? Stay tuned because this isn't just another celebrity scandal. This is the Tory Lanez update. It all started on a quiet Monday morning when fans noticed something strange. Tory Lanez, who had been completely silent for weeks, suddenly posted a cryptic message on his Instagram story. No explanation, no caption, just 3 words. They set me up. Within minutes, screenshots flooded Twitter, fan pages started spinning theories, and blogs were already calling it the return of the most controversial voice in hip-hop. Nobody knew who they were, but everyone knew one thing for sure. The storm was back, for months. The world had watched Tory fade into the shadows, avoiding interviews, keeping his circle small, and staying off social media. It seemed like he was done with the spotlight. But that one post reignited every headline, every rumor, every unsolved mystery surrounding him. People started asking questions again. Why now? Who was behind this? What was he really trying to say? By afternoon, his close friend and longtime producer, Dre Montana, went live on Instagram. His voice shaky, but his tone confident. "Y'all have no idea what's been going on," he said, staring into the camera. "Tory's been betrayed by someone he trusted more than family. Y'all think you know the story? Nah, it's deeper than that." Those words sent fans spiraling. Betrayal? Family? What did Dre mean? Within hours, every gossip page had turned it into a full-blown mystery. Some claimed Tory's inner circle had been leaking his private conversations to the media. Others said it was something darker, something about money, deals, and revenge. One source even claimed a powerful industry figure had been pulling strings behind the scenes to keep Tory under control. That night, another shock hit. A voice note allegedly from Tory leaked online. In it, he sounded furious, pacing, his voice echoing through what seemed like a hotel room. "I gave them loyalty," he said. "I gave them everything. And they still stabbed me in the back. But they forgot one thing: I don't break." Fans went crazy. Was it real? Was it fake? The clip spread like wildfire. Within hours, hashtags like "Tom Tory betrayed" and "Tom Justice for Tory" started trending. Everyone wanted answers. The media reached out to his team, but they stayed silent. No confirmations, no denials, just silence. Then came the biggest twist of all. The next evening, an anonymous insider who claimed to be part of Tory's management team leaked private text messages between Tory and an unknown number saved only as K. The messages showed heated arguments about missing money, legal threats, and someone accusing Tory of turning on the family. The messages read like something out of a soap opera. "You think you can just walk away from this?" The unknown number wrote. "I already did," Tory allegedly replied. "Then don't be surprised when the truth comes out." And then the message that made everyone stop scrolling. "They already know what you did, Tory. It's only a matter of time." Within hours, fans started theorizing who K could be. Some said it was an ex. Others thought it was someone inside the label. One rumor suggested it was a producer he had fallen out with over royalties. Whatever the truth was, the internet couldn't get enough. Meanwhile, friends close to Tory began speaking out. One of his former collaborators, who refused to reveal his name, said in an interview, "Tory's been dealing with more than anyone knows. People think it's just music, but it's personal. There are people who want to see him fail, and they're not strangers." The drama only got messier. A few days later, Tory's sister reportedly unfollowed several members of his crew. Fans noticed immediately, posting screenshots and tagging gossip blogs. One user tweeted, "If families unfollowing each other, you know it's bad." Then, late that night, another live stream exploded across social media. Dre Montana went live again, this time clearly emotional. "I told him to stay quiet," he said, wiping his face. But he's not listening anymore. "He's hurt, bro. You can't imagine the kind of betrayal he's feeling right now." It's not about money. It's about trust. In the comments, people begged for answers. One user typed, "Who betrayed him?" Another asked, "Is it someone famous?" But Dre didn't reveal any names. Instead, he said, "You'll all find out soon enough. The truth always finds its way out." And then he ended the live abruptly, leaving thousands of viewers stunned. The next morning, Tory finally reappeared online. Not with a statement, not with a post, but with a clip. A 45-second teaser of what looked like a new music video. The footage showed Tory standing in the rain, staring into the camera as dramatic music played. The caption read, "Sometimes silence speaks louder than truth." Fans were divided. Some saw it as a creative comeback, others as a cry for help. Theories flooded Reddit threads. Is this a diss track? Is it about the betrayal? Is he trying to tell us something through his art? The video hit 1 million views in just 5 hours. But the story didn't stop there. A journalist from an online entertainment site claimed to have received a private voice recording from an anonymous source. Allegedly, a heated phone call between Tory and someone he once called his brother. In the clip, the voices were muffled, but one line stood out clearly. "You took everything from me. And now you're pretending to be the victim." The journalist published the story, and social media lost its mind. Fans dissected the recording, slowed it down, enhanced the audio, and many were convinced it was real. People started guessing who the other voice belonged to. One name kept coming up: Cade, an old friend who used to produce beats for Tory early in his career. They hadn't been seen together in years. That same evening, Cade posted a cryptic tweet. "Loyalty is a two-way street. No tags, no context, just that one line." The internet exploded. Everyone was convinced he was the mysterious K from the texts. Gossip accounts posted side-by-side photos, highlighting the timeline of their fallout. Comments flooded in, saying things like, "This is straight out of a movie," and "I need popcorn for this one." But behind all the noise, something darker was brewing. Insiders claimed Tory had been warned to stop posting. That legal action might be coming if he didn't cool down. Apparently, contracts, deals, and reputations were at stake. One insider told a blog, "They're trying to silence him." There's more going on here than fans realize. For the first time in months, Tory was being seen out again, not at clubs or parties, but alone, late at night, stepping out of a black SUV and walking into a small studio in downtown Los Angeles. Paparazzi snapped photos of him looking tired, eyes low, wearing a hoodie pulled tight. The captions read, "Tory Lanez seen working late after betrayal scandal." Fans flooded the comments with concern. "He looks broken," one said. Another wrote, "I just hope he's okay. This much drama can destroy a person." But the real explosion was yet to come. Rumors started swirling that a major documentary was being made, not by Tory, but by someone close to the situation. A tell-all that could expose everything. The alleged director had reportedly reached out to former associates for interviews, promising to reveal the truth about what really went down. When reporters asked Tory's team about it, they refused to comment. But Tory himself posted a single emoji on his story, a chess piece. No caption, just the symbol, and that's when everyone realized something. This wasn't just a social media feud anymore. It was a game, a strategic battle of moves and counter-moves, and Tory Lanez, for better or worse, was right in the middle of it. As the internet buzzed, as fan theories piled up, and as old friends turned into enemies overnight, one question lingered in the air. What would Tory do next? And just when people thought they had seen it all, part 2 of the chaos was about to begin. A confrontation that no one expected, and one that would change everything. The next morning, everything changed. It started with a single tweet that shook the internet. A user claiming to be Cade's cousin posted, "Y'all have no idea what Tory did to Cade. The truth's about to come out, and it's uglier than you think." Within minutes, the tweet went viral, gaining tens of thousands of likes before it mysteriously disappeared. But by then, screenshots had already spread across every social media platform. The whispers turned into shouts. What truth? What really happened between Tory and Cade? Hours later, an audio clip began circulating online. A studio recording of an argument between two men. Fans immediately recognized Tory's voice, but the second voice was harder to identify. The argument was intense. "You think you made me?" the first voice shouted. "I made us!" the second voice snapped back. "Nah, bro, You made yourself rich and left me in the dirt. Don't twist it. I put you on every track. I gave you credit. You just got greedy. And then came the line that made the internet lose its mind. You don't cross family, Cade. Remember that. It was all anyone needed to confirm it. The mysterious K was Cade. Fans flooded comment sections, tagging both artists, demanding answers. Tory Skid began trending worldwide. While social media feasted on the drama, those close to Tory claimed he was spiraling. One insider told a gossip reporter, "He hasn't been sleeping, hasn't been eating. It's more than music beef. It's betrayal from someone he grew up with." Meanwhile, Cade didn't stay silent. He went live on Instagram that night, his face half lit by a dim room light. His tone was calm, but his eyes said everything. "I kept quiet out of respect," he began. "But when someone lies to the world and plays the victim, that's when I speak up." Comments flooded in. What's he talking about? Is this about the money? Drop receipts. And that's exactly what he did. Cade pulled out his phone, scrolling through messages. "He told me we'd split the profits 50-50, he said, showing the screen to the camera. "But when the checks came in, I got nothing. Not a dime. I called him. He ghosted me. I called again. Blocked." He took a deep breath. That's betrayal. Not just business. That's personal. The video spread everywhere. Fans were divided. Some called Cade a liar chasing clout, while others believed he was finally exposing the truth. Even celebrities began weighing in. One rapper tweeted, "I've been new, the industry's full of snakes. Loyalty's just a word to some people." Another commented on the situation saying, "Tory's got a pattern, man. Where there's smoke, there's fire." As the backlash grew, Tory's team finally released a short statement through his publicist. It read, "Tory Lanez has always conducted his business with integrity and respect. Recent allegations are false and motivated by bitterness. We ask fans not to believe manipulated content, but that only fueled the fire." Fans accused him of dodging accountability. "If it's fake, prove it," one tweet read. "Show your side. Show the receipts." Then came another twist. Tory's sister Mia broke her silence in an emotional post. She wrote, "People only see what they want to see. Family knows the truth, and the truth hurts." She didn't name anyone directly, but her post sent shockwaves. Some fans thought she was defending Tory. Others believed she was calling him out. Either way, it deepened the mystery. Meanwhile, a leaked text conversation surfaced on Reddit. It was allegedly between Tory and a mutual friend trying to mediate between him and Cade. The texts painted a picture of two men on the edge of a full-blown breakdown. "Bro, you can't fix betrayal," Tory wrote. "He's hurt, man. He feels like you used him," the friend replied. "I gave him everything. He took it all for granted. I'm done. You'll regret walking away like this." "No, I'll regret trusting him." Fans were stunned. The story wasn't just about fame and money anymore. It was about brotherhood shattered, loyalty tested, and pride tearing everything apart. Then, as if the universe wanted to make things worse, an old interview clip resurfaced. It showed Tory and Cade laughing together during a podcast from years ago. At one point, the host asked, "So who's the brains behind the sound?" And Cade jokingly answered, "He's the face. I'm the formula." The crowd laughed, but now, that joke felt like a prophecy. The internet replayed that clip over and over, dissecting every glance, every smile. People said, "Look how fake that friendship was," while others defended them, saying they were brothers, man. It's sad how fast fame destroys bonds. As pressure mounted, Tory went silent again. No posts, no stories, no statements. Just silence. Fans started worrying, asking if he was okay. Hashtags like "Pray for Tory" began trending, but silence didn't last long. Paparazzi caught him leaving a recording studio at 3 a.m., looking visibly angry. When asked about the feud, he snapped, "You'll hear everything soon. I promise." The clip hit every blog site within hours. And true to his word, 2 nights later, Tory dropped a surprise track titled "Mirror Talk." It wasn't a typical song. It was raw, confessional, emotional. The lyrics were cryptic but heavy. One verse in particular had fans losing their minds. "Gave you the code, and you used it to lock me out. Called you my brother, but you just wanted clout. You broke the circle. Now the silence screams loud. Guess betrayal's the price of being proud." The internet exploded. Fans flooded social media with theories and breakdowns. Some said the track was a direct response to Cade's accusations. Others thought it was just a lyrical expression of pain. But everyone agreed on one thing. It was his most emotional release ever. Within hours, Cade responded with his own track titled Family Business. The lyrics were brutal. You talk about loyalty, but you never knew the word. All that pain you caused? That's what you deserve. It was no longer a private fight. It was a war, played out in front of millions. Industry insiders started picking sides. One label executive anonymously told a blog, "This isn't about who's right or wrong anymore. It's about survival. Both of them are trying to protect their legacy." The drama began spilling into real life. At a private event in Los Angeles, sources claimed Tory and Cade's teams nearly clashed backstage. One witness said, "You could cut the tension with a knife." Security had to separate them. It was bad. As the footage spread online, fans couldn't believe how far it had gone. What started as a betrayal had turned into full-blown chaos. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, Tory's mother reportedly stepped in, trying to calm things down. One family friend told a gossip outlet, "She's heartbroken. She watched these boys grow up together. Seeing them fight like this is tearing her apart." The emotional weight of the situation started to show on everyone. Tory's latest live performance was noticeably off. Fans noticed his voice cracking, his energy low. Midway through one song, he stopped and whispered into the mic, "Loyalty hurts when it's one-sided." The crowd went silent. Some said he was close to tears. And just when people thought things couldn't get worse, a new leak hit the internet. A private email between Tory's management and a documentary producer. The subject line read, "Urgent, stop production immediately." The email hinted that Cade's side had been sharing confidential information with the filmmakers. The revelation sparked a new storm. Now it wasn't just personal betrayal, it was business sabotage. The headlines screamed, "Tory Lanez betrayed by former friend again," and "New documentary could expose shocking truths." Fans didn't know what to believe anymore. Both sides had proof, both had pain, and both had supporters ready to go to war for them online. But amid all the chaos, one quiet moment stood out. Late one night, Tory posted a single sentence on Twitter before deleting it moments later. It said, "I miss when it was just music." That line hit everyone. Beneath all the controversy, all the anger, it was clear. Tory wasn't just fighting others. He was fighting himself. And as the feud reached boiling point, everyone wondered the same thing. Who would break first? Because the next move, everyone knew, would change everything. And that's exactly what happened next. When Tory and Cade finally came face to face again, the world stopped watching in silence. Because nobody could have predicted what came next. It happened on a Friday night that nobody would forget. A private industry event in Los Angeles, invitation only, full of label executives, artists, and influencers. It was meant to be a celebration, a peace dinner, hosted by one of the biggest music managers in the game. But peace was the last thing on anyone's mind. Because both Tory and Cade showed up, and the moment they walked into the same room, the air changed. Witnesses said it was tense from the start. Tory arrived first, wearing a black hoodie and chain, keeping his hood up, barely speaking to anyone. 15 minutes later, Cade walked in. No smile, no greeting, just straight confidence. People whispered. Phones came out discreetly, cameras hidden under tables. Everyone could feel something was about to happen. One guest later told a reporter, "It was like watching two storms circle each other." No words, just energy. Everyone knew it was going to explode. For nearly an hour, they avoided each other. Tory stayed near the stage, Cade near the bar. But as the night went on, tensions grew. Music played in the background, one of Tory's old tracks, ironically co-produced by Cade. The moment those first few notes hit, everyone turned to see their reactions. Tory froze for a second, then exhaled sharply. Cade's expression didn't change, but you could see his jaw tighten. That was the breaking point. Tory walked straight toward him. The room fell silent. "So that's how it is now?" Tory said, voice low but shaking. "How what is?" Cade replied calmly, sipping his drink. "You airing out business that wasn't yours to tell. That's how you handle things? You mean business where I got played?" Cade shot back. "Don't twist it, bro. You know what you did." "Nah, I know what you did. You sold me out, you lied. And now you're trying to play the victim." The crowd tried to act normal, but everyone was listening. A few people whispered, "They're actually doing this right here?" Cade took a step closer. "You think you're untouchable, huh? Just because people still listen to you?" "Truth is, the industry's done with you." Tory laughed, but it wasn't out of humor. It was disbelief. "You've been dying to see me fall, huh? Go ahead, keep talking." That's all you're good at. Security started moving in, but before they could reach them, Tory leaned in and whispered something nobody could quite hear. Whatever it was, it made Cade's face change completely. Witnesses said his hands clenched, his eyes went cold. For a second, it looked like they were about to fight. But then, out of nowhere, Cade said, "You really want to do this? Fine, tell them about the deal. Tell them about what you signed without me." The entire room gasped. People started pulling out their phones. The manager hosting the event rushed over, trying to calm things down. "Not here, not tonight," he said, but it was too late. The damage was done. By the next morning, clips from the confrontation had gone viral. Blurry footage, muffled audio, but enough to see the tension. The internet was in chaos. Fans picked sides instantly. Tory's hiding something, some said. Others defended him. Cade's obsessed with attention. He's milking this. Within hours, a new piece of information dropped. An anonymous insider leaked documents showing that Tory had signed a secret deal for a new project, one that apparently included rights to songs that Cade had co-produced. The revelation was explosive. If true, it meant Tory had legally cut Cade out of something they built together. Blogs ran headlines like "Exclusive, the betrayal behind Tory's $1 million contract," and "Was Cade right all along?" But just when everyone started turning on Tory, a shocking twist flipped everything. A journalist from a major entertainment outlet released a recording, not of Tory, but of Cade. In it, Cade was heard talking to another producer, saying, "Yeah, I knew about the deal before he did. I just wanted to see how long he'd keep lying." It was a bombshell. Suddenly, the narrative changed again. Fans started asking, wait, was Cade the one playing both sides? The same people who'd defended him the day before were now calling him manipulative. Meanwhile, Tory broke his silence with a message that felt both raw and exhausted. He posted, "I tried to keep this private. I tried to handle it like a man. But when people push you into the dirt, you can't stay quiet forever." Underneath, the comments section was a battlefield. "Stay strong, Tory. You did this to yourself." This is real-life betrayal. The movie. As the internet fought, people close to both men started revealing more. One of Cade's former engineers told a blog, both of them were wrong. They let pride ruin what could have been legendary. It wasn't about money. It was about ego. Behind closed doors, the feud was bleeding into families. Tory's sister Mia posted a tearful video late that night. "I don't care about fame," she said, voice trembling. "I just want my brother to have peace again. He's been through too much. This isn't who he is." Her video went viral, with fans flooding it with heart emojis and comments of support. But even then, the chaos wouldn't stop. Because the next morning, a new player entered the game, a woman named Jade, who claimed to be Tory's ex. She posted a long Instagram story saying, "They're both lying. I was there when the deal went down. And trust me, there's a third person they're not talking about." Screenshots of her post spread like wildfire. Fans demanded she explain. Within hours, Jade went live, thousands watching. She said Tory didn't betray Cade first. Someone else did, a guy named Marcus. He forged signatures, took money from both sides, and vanished. Tory found out and tried to fix it, but by then, Cade thought it was him. The revelation hit the internet like a shockwave. If true, it meant the entire feud was built on a misunderstanding. But was Jade telling the truth? Or was she just stirring the pot? Tory's team refused to comment, but sources said he was furious. Cade, on the other hand, called Jade a liar in a tweet saying, "People love inserting themselves into things they don't understand." But fans noticed something. He never denied Marcus's name. And within hours, someone claiming to be Marcus's former assistant released an email showing that Marcus had indeed worked for both artists at one point. The email included a chilling line. "If they ever find out what I did, I'm done." Suddenly, everything made sense. The missing money, the silence, the mistrust. Marcus had allegedly manipulated them both, turning two brothers against each other for his own gain. But instead of bringing peace, the revelation brought more chaos. Now everyone wanted receipts. Where's Marcus? Why isn't Tory saying anything? Was this all planned for publicity? Social media was drowning in theories. Some said Tory and Cade staged everything to promote their upcoming albums. Others believed Marcus was real and had already disappeared. One post even claimed he'd fled the country. In the middle of it all, Tory dropped another cryptic post, a picture of two broken chains on a table, with the caption, "Truth cuts deeper than lies." The internet went wild. That's about Cade. No, it's about Marcus. He's hinting that he's finally letting go. But nobody expected what came next. Because that Sunday, a surprise announcement hit social media. Tory and Cade were both set to appear on the same talk show the following week. The Post read, "Night an exclusive sit-down, 2 men, 1 truth." Fans couldn't believe it. After months of betrayal, leaks, and emotional warfare, they were finally going to face each other publicly. Within minutes, the episode teaser dropped online. In it, both men sat across from each other. The host saying, "For the first time ever, Tory Lanez and Cade break their silence, together." The clip ended with Tory saying, "I didn't betray you," and Cade replying, "Then prove it." It was the showdown everyone had been waiting for. As the teaser racked up millions of views, people were already predicting what would happen. Someone's gonna storm off. They'll never make peace. Watch, it's gonna end with another twist. And they weren't wrong. Because when those cameras started rolling, what unfolded next wasn't just another argument, it was an emotional explosion that no one saw coming, and it would change everything. Again, the day of the interview arrived, and you could feel the tension through the screen. Fans flooded the live stream before it even started. The chat was wild, people typing in all caps, emojis flying everywhere. Everyone wanted to know the truth. For weeks, the feud between Tory Lanez and Cade had dominated headlines, social media, and even late-night shows. Now, finally, both men were sitting face-to-face, ready to talk. The set was minimal. 2 chairs, 1 host, a dim background. The host started calmly saying, "Tonight, we're here for clarity, not conflict." But deep down, everyone watching knew there would be conflict anyway. Tory sat on the left, his hands clasped together, head slightly bowed. Cade sat across from him, jaw tight, his expression unreadable. They didn't look at each other for the first few minutes. The silence was almost painful. The host began gently. "There's been a lot said. Both of you have shared your sides, but the fans want to hear it from you directly. Tory, let's start with you. What happened?" Tory looked up slowly. His voice was calm but heavy. "What happened," he said, "was betrayal, but not the kind everyone thinks. I didn't steal from Cade. I didn't sign no deal behind his back. I found out someone else did. I tried to fix it, but by the time I reached him, he'd already turned on me. And that broke me." The host turned to Cade. "Cade, your response?" Cade took a deep breath. "I'll be real," he said. "For a long time, I believed Tory did it. The paperwork, the silence, the missing money, everything pointed to him. I felt abandoned. I felt played. And when I called him out, instead of picking up the phone, he dropped a track about betrayal. That's not how family handles things." Tory's eyes narrowed. "Family doesn't go on live and drag my name either," he shot back. "I was angry," Cade said quietly. "I was hurt. So was I," Tory replied. "But you didn't have to burn everything to the ground." The host tried to keep control. "There's been talk about someone named Marcus," she said. "A third person who may have caused all this. Can either of you confirm that?" For a moment, neither spoke. The tension was unbearable. Then Tory nodded. "Yeah. Marcus was part of our circle. He handled business stuff, contracts, payments. He played both sides. Forged signatures, made fake invoices, the whole thing. By the time we realized, he'd disappeared. But the damage was already done." Cade looked stunned, almost conflicted. "You're saying Marcus did all that?" "Yeah," Tory said firmly. "And you know it's true. Check the records. Check the messages. He used both of us." Cade stared at him for a long moment. Then he said softly, "I did see something weird in the numbers. I just didn't think..." His voice trailed off. "I didn't think it could be him." The host leaned forward. "So what you're saying is, this entire feud, all this pain, was based on a misunderstanding?" Neither answered immediately. Tory rubbed his face with his hands. Cade looked away. Finally, Tory said, "Misunderstanding or not, we still hurt each other. We let pride and anger take over. I can't blame Marcus for that," the host asked. "Do you think you two can ever rebuild that trust?" Cade sighed. "I don't know. Once you say certain things, you can't unsay them. Once you look someone in the eye and see hate, it's hard to see anything else." The room went quiet. Tory looked down at the floor. "You're right," he said finally. "But I never hated you. I hated what I thought you became." The moment was raw, real. Fans watching from home were flooding the chat with messages like, "This is heartbreaking," and "They need to hug it out." The host gave them space to speak freely. "If you could say one thing to each other right now, with no cameras, no audience, what would it be?" Tory looked up, his voice shaking slightly. "I'd say I'm sorry. Not for what people think I did, but for not fighting harder to keep us from falling apart. I let my ego talk when my heart should have." Cade blinked slowly, visibly holding back emotion. "I'd say I'm sorry too, for not listening, for assuming the worst. I thought I was protecting myself, but really, I was just adding more fire." For a few seconds, neither spoke. Then, unexpectedly, Cade reached out his hand. Tory hesitated, and then took it. The audience watching online went insane. The chat filled with heart emojis, crying faces, and messages like, "Finally," and "This is real growth." The host smiled softly. "Looks like the update we all needed wasn't another diss track," she said. "But this moment right here." But just when everyone thought the story had finally reached peace, another twist hit. Halfway through the interview, the host-producer handed her a note. She read it silently, then looked back at the camera, her expression serious. "I've just received confirmation," she said carefully, "that Marcus has been found and he's agreed to speak publicly." The entire room froze. Tory's jaw dropped. Cade leaned back in disbelief. The chat exploded. "No way. You're kidding. This isn't over," the host continued. "He's reached out to the network and claims he has proof that both of you were targeted. Not by him, but by someone even higher up in the industry." Tory looked stunned. "What do you mean higher up?" "We don't have details yet," the host said. "But he's promised to reveal everything in the next broadcast." The tension was electric. Cade exhaled deeply. "So it wasn't just us?" Tory shook his head slowly. "Guess not. Guess we both were pawns in somebody else's game." The interview ended on that haunting note. Two former brothers, sitting side by side for the first time in years, finally united by the same betrayal that had torn them apart. Finally united by the same betrayal that had torn them apart. After the cameras stopped rolling, off-air witnesses said Tory and Cade talked privately for nearly an hour. Nobody knows exactly what was said, but one source claimed Tory was heard saying, "Whatever happens next, we face it together this time." Later that night, Tory posted a picture on his story. No words. Just him and Cade in the studio, sitting next to each other, both looking serious but calm. The caption read, "Part 2, Truth and Peace. The internet lost its mind." Are they making music again? This is the comeback of the decade. Redemption arc unlocked. Fans flooded the comments with love, forgiveness, and hope. Even celebrities reacted. One singer tweeted, "This is what maturity looks like." Respect to both of them. Another wrote, "The music about to be legendary after all this pain." And they were right. 2 weeks later, a joint track dropped out of nowhere. No promotion, no teaser, no announcement. Just a midnight release titled Forgive and Live. The lyrics were emotional, filled with reflection and healing. Tory's verse opened with, "We fell apart trying to win the same war. Now I see peace was the only score." Cade's verse ended with, "You can't erase the scars, but you can learn to wear them proud." Fans were stunned. The song wasn't just beautiful, it was closure. It shot straight to #1 on streaming charts. Critics called it a masterpiece born from pain. Fans called it the reunion we didn't know we needed. The internet that once divided them, now united in support. Interviews followed, showing both men side by side, laughing again, sharing stories. They didn't talk about the past anymore, only about rebuilding, forgiving, and moving forward. But even then, a small shadow lingered. The promise of Marcus's reveal. Nobody knew when or how he would speak or what truth he held. Some fans thought he'd never appear, that it was just another rumor. Others believed he was waiting for the right time to drop the final bombshell. And maybe that was the real power of the story. Not just betrayal, but rebirth. Two artists, torn apart by lies, finding their way back through truth. In the end, it wasn't about who was right or wrong. It was about survival, forgiveness, and the messy beauty of being human. And as Tory Lanez stood on stage weeks later, performing Forgive and Live to a roaring crowd, he paused, smiled faintly, and said, "Don't believe everything you hear, but believe in growth." The crowd erupted, chanting his name. Somewhere in the audience, Cade watched, nodding proudly. The feud that once tore them apart had now written a story of redemption. But deep down, everyone watching knew, if Marcus ever spoke, it could either solidify their peace or shatter it all over again. And that's where the world waited, breathless. Because in the story of Tory Lanez, the drama never truly ends. It only evolves, and there you have it, the Tory Lanez update that nobody saw coming. From betrayal to forgiveness, from silence to redemption, this story had it all. Secrets, heartbreak, and a reunion that shocked the world. Fans are still trying to process what just happened. Did Tory and Cade really find peace? Or is this just the calm before another storm? And what about Marcus, the ghost in the background who could still turn everything upside down? Questions are everywhere and nobody knows what's next. Some believe the new song Forgive and Live marks a new chapter for both artists, a symbol of growth and maturity. Others think it's just a temporary truce before another wave of revelations hits the internet. Either way, one thing's for sure. This isn't the end. Not yet. The industry is watching, fans are waiting, and the world is holding its breath for the next move. Maybe the truth will finally come out when Marcus speaks. Or maybe, just maybe, the biggest twist is that peace was the real ending all along. But what do you think? Was Tory the victim of manipulation, or did he play the game better than anyone else? Was Cade's anger justified, or did he fall for a trap? And do you believe Marcus was ever real, or just another name in a story too wild to be true? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Tell us whose side you're on, or if you think both men were just caught in the chaos of fame. Don't forget to like this video if you were hooked till the end. Subscribe for more explosive updates like this. And hit that notification bell so you never miss the next chapter. Because if we've learned anything from Tory Lanez' story, it's that the truth is never really the end. It's just another beginning. It's just another beginning.